You're listening to the Mopcast Network.
Welcome to the weekly Mopcast, your look at what's happening in pop culture and what's going on in the Mopcast Network. You can follow us on Twitter at Mopcast Network or on Facebook at facebook.com/Mopcast Network. Now here are your hosts, Scotty and Stephanie.
Welcome to the weekly Mopcast, episode 84.
84.
84, 16 to 100.
I remember 1984.
I do too. We can talk about 84 if you like. I'm your Native American pop culture spirit guide, Scotty, and I'm joined by, as always,
You're a facilitator of fun, Stephanie.
and we are in the glorious Gamers and Geeks podcast studio.
It is very great.
Which is right now just four walls and us, but one day we will dream that it will be much nicer. I know the owner, Tommy, wants to do something like that, so this is all the incentive for Tommy. Gamers and Geeks, if you like games, you like games.
I love games.
What's your favorite game?
Risk.
Okay, so like they totally have Risk. They have all kinds of different versions of Risk here. They have a ton of classic and newfangled board games that take like days and days to play. But if you like Risk, you can definitely check out Gamers and Geeks at Mobile, Alabama. You can check website at gamersandgeeks.com. You can look at that click it on the bottom of our website. Gamers and Geeks, we like games.
Awesome.
I just did an ad on top of my head.
I love that. You did a good job. I was like, wow.
So let's talk about stuff.
Okay.
So there is a new Terminator movie coming out that's done by James Cameron. He's not directing it, but he's producing it. And I think the guy who directed the first Deadpool is doing the directing. Don't quote me on that. But without any notes on top of my head.
Right. I saw the photos.
And so they posted photos today of Linda Hamilton and her badass 61-year-old stuff.
Oh, my God.
She's like a hardcore grandma.
She looks so good.
She will bake you cookies and kick you in the face.
So when T2 came out, and she came back all, her buff with the ponytail and the tank top, and, that's who I wanted to be when I grew up.
Right.
It was like, oh my God, I want to be just like her.
So.
And then I look at her now, and I'm thinking, when I'm 61, I want to be just like her.
Well, it's a good model to follow. It's definitely a good model to follow.
She looks amazing.
But yeah, the pictures look great. I'm curious what the story is. I know it's a direct sequel to T2, so Terminator 3, Salvation, Genesis, and the Sarah Connor Chronicles did not happen, which is you can do now. There's a lot of movies that are doing this thing where you're just like, we're skipping what we don't like. Then there's a new Halloween coming out, ironically, during Halloween.
Right.
And it literally skips past 3, 4, 5, 6, the H2Os.
All that craziness.
And the Rob Zombie one. Which is weird because H2O did the same thing. It skipped all the other ones, and then and Jamie Lee Curtis is in it, and so she skipped herself twice.
Oh, she probably just didn't like those. So it's fine.
So who would win in a fight? Sarah Connor or Laurie Strode?
Oh God, Sarah Connor, hands down.
Hands down. Sorry,
that's not even a question.
Laurie Strode, you don't have it. Laurie Strode, you can take your Activia and move on. Because you ain't got it.
Oh my God.
Sarah Connor will go Beauty and the Beast on you.
Yeah.
Can't think of anything else she was in.
I think Sarah Connor could be one of the Avengers if she needed to be. I mean, just think about this for a minute.
Hawkeye, we can't find Hawkeye. That's okay. We have Sarah Connor.
That's right. It's fine.
I watched Terminator 2 recently, and by recently in the last year, I saw it in the theaters in 3D.
Oh wow.
And that was a trip.
I've never seen any of those movies. I don't like 3D movies. Let me change that statement. I don't like to watch movies in 3D unless they were filmed specifically in 3D. I don't like them remastered in 3D. You know what I'm talking about?
I got you.
It bothers me.
But I think this worked.
I mean, I didn't see it. So
no, I'm saying I think it worked. I mean, I think I'm with you. I'm not crazy about a lot of 3D movies. I typically don't see 3D movies just because I don't want to spend the extra $4 for a gimmick that's going to let me down. Exceptions, of course, are like Avatar. You're right. Avatar is a movie that was specifically made for 3D, and it should have a 3D look to it. And in fact, I don't like Avatar on TV or on 2D, or it's on Netflix right now. And I'm like, I can't watch it because it's
not right.
It's not right. There's something off about it. And so no, but so the last time I saw T2 was in 3D, and I was really amazed about how well it held up. The special effects held up. Everything just really held up.
It's a great film.
It's a really, really good movie. So something we do need to do on Bros, Booze, and Movies one night.
I'm kind of so I haven't even looked up to see what other cast are going to be in the new Terminator movie. I don't have my phone out.
All right.
Is the kid?
John Connor?
Yeah, I mean the original
Eddie Furlong?
Yeah, because didn't he had some issues?
Eddie's had some legal trouble.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just wondering because he was great in T2.
He was great in a couple other things. He was in. I really liked him in American History X.
Oh, he was amazing in that.
I actually liked him in Pet Sematary 2, which is not nearly as good, but him and Clancy Brown are really good in it.
Yeah.
And so
American History X was fabulous.
Pecker, he was really good in Pecker.
I did not see that.
Pecker's a John Waters film.
Mm-hmm.
Untitled, there it is. Untitled Terminator Reboot. Well, of course, Arnold's in it.
Well, yeah.
As an aging Terminator, I guess. Tim Miller, who directed Deadpool. So this should be... And James Cameron's a writer and producer on this. It has Mackenzie Davis. Do you know Mackenzie Davis?
No. No.
Mackenzie Davis, she was in *Halt and Catch Fire* on AMC, and she's really good. She played kind of a computer hacker on that who started her own game company in the 80s. *Halt and Catch Fire* is a bizarre show, but it's so good. *Halt and Catch Fire* is basically the genesis of the home computing.
Right.
I don't know, the home computing beginnings or whatever.
Okay.
But it's all done because all that stuff started in Texas with Texas Instruments and all that. But it's like this hardcore look about how what quote unquote really went on in this, and it's pretty sweet. Gabriel Luna is playing a Terminator. Gabriel Luna was in. Oh, he was Ghost Rider in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I knew I recognized the name. All right, cool. So,
okay.
There's some other people too. Diego Boneta. Diego Boneta is from Mexico, and he was in Rock of Ages. You've been in Rock of Ages.
I've been in Rock of Ages for sure.
See. Lots of Spanish things. Looking for things I recognize.
It's all good. I was just wondering about Edward Furlong.
No, Eddie's. What is Edward? Let's see what Eddie's looking. What's Eddie up to? Edward.
I don't know.
Oh, not Edward Scissorhands. Edward Furlong. He is 22 days older than me.
Oh, wow.
Detroit Rock City. He's really good at that, too. He has been... He's episode of a show called Renegades. That was last year. Did one movie in 2016. He did a Star Trek fan film in 2015.
Okay.
He's not really worked a lot. Bunch of B, C, D grade movies.
Right.
And a movie in 2000, a short film called License to Reproduce.
Well, all right.
You can't have babies. So he was in the 2011 version of the Green Hornet. This is the IMDb podcast. So no,
Anyway.
no Eddie Furlong. Sorry.
It's okay. I was just curious.
I mean, he had a longer career than Jake Lloyd, so.
Yeah, that's because he's crazy.
Poor Jake Lloyd. I hope he's doing well. Thoughts and prayers, Jake Lloyd. Thoughts and prayers. I'll bring that up because I'll talk about this now on this podcast. So me and the Prize Pixie has started a podcast together where she's considerably younger than us, and she has not seen the Star Wars films in their entirety. Like, I think she's seen one of them. Right. I don't think she saw one at all. On the flip side, I've not seen a lot of Harry Potter, and she loves Harry Potter. And so what we're doing is I've been forcing her to watch Star Wars movies and talk about it, and she's going to force me to watch Harry Potter films and talk about it. And it has been a trip.
I can just imagine.
Oh, it's still unnamed. We've recorded our 4th episode this week. and we're gonna air them all when we're gonna start airing them when we're done with it. But still no name. But look forward to it sometime in the fall. It should be fun.
It'll be great.
Yes, I figured by the time we are finishing airing them, Fantastic Beasts 2 will be coming out around then, so we can actually end on that this year.
That'll be great.
Yeah. They're very long, though. We've learned that we've talked 2 hours pretty much per movie, so they're going to probably get broken up into part 1 and part 2 each week. So
That'll work.
Lots of stuff. I don't think what else has been going on. Andrew Lincoln's not coming back to Walking Dead after next season.
Oh, will there be a Walking Dead after next season?
I thought the show was about him.
I'm a huge Walking Dead fan.
Right. And we haven't talked about it all since
I was, kind of bored. I mean, the highlight of the season for me was being able to watch the mid-season premiere with some Walking Dead people, and that's pretty much been my highlight.
I liked the second half of the Walking Dead season than I did the first half. The whole one-day thing.
Well, yeah, I mean,
went on way too long.
Yeah, I mean, the second half definitely picked up, but it was. Let's put it this way: I didn't watch it every week. I would wait and try to catch up in a couple episodes.
Right.
I mean, I wasn't in a hurry to watch it. I did finish it, and I was like, all right.
I watched it every week because I did it with the Uncle Henry show, so we watched it and did our little review on it.
I don't know. I'm bored with it now. I'm bored.
I'm sorry you're bored.
It's okay.
Yeah, it'll come back. I don't know what they're going to do next season.
Negan's still alive.
So he's in jail.
Yeah, they'll do something with him. Well, Maggie's pissed. So she and Daryl are going to start some sort of assault against
Rick.
So, there you go.
Who knows?
Isn't it odd that out of everybody on the show, that Daryl has not seen any action since the apocalypse or since the zombie apocalypse started?
Oh, there's a whole thing no, he hasn't seen any action. The closest thing he got was Beth, and that was awkward.
It was really awkward, and it was more like a brother-sisterly
yeah,
kind of
but for a minute there, you're like, they're going to totally do it. You're like, she's totally 12.
Yeah, it was weird. But then he's got no action, male or female.
No action at all, so.
I just think that's odd.
Well, maybe he'll get some.
He needs to get some.
Maggie's, don't no longer have a man.
Yeah, that's true.
So, he could be Glenn too, Electric Boogaloo.
Or he could hook up with Jesus. They could go that way.
He could hook up with Jesus, yeah. 2 long hairs together.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
There's not really a lot. We're running out of named characters for him to hook up with.
Right.
Rick and Michonne are together, so they're kind of tied up. And
that's true.
Who else do you got?
I don't know.
Carol.
Yeah. He could hook up with Carol. In real life, they're the same age.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what his age is supposed to be on the show. But.
Right. I mean, she just looks older because her hair is shorter gray.
Yeah.
But I don't mean, she doesn't, to me, she didn't look, I don't think she's like a grandma. Because she wasn't, she had
a young child.
She had young kids.
She just grayed early.
And then turned totally Sarah Connor on us.
She sure did.
Carol versus Sarah Connor, who'd win?
Ooh. That's
These are the important questions that this podcast and only this podcast will ask.
Yeah. I would like to see that fight.
My money's still on Linda Hamilton. My money's still on Sarah Connor.
I kind of, I don't know.
I've seen Sarah Connor take a lot of damage and still kick a lot of ass.
That's true.
I've not seen Carol take as much damage and still kick ass.
No, but they both have pretty extensive weapons training.
I think, Sarah has more because she had like 10 years to prepare. Well, up to 10 years to prepare, depending on when she got thrown away in Pescadero. Because if I remember my Terminator timeline right, so Terminator comes out in 91, but it actually happens in 95. Because the first one happens in 84. And then Eddie and John Connor's 10.
Right.
So she 9 months. So it's, I have to remember the day. I think it's May. I think it's May 1984. I can't remember.
I want to say, yeah.
I got to find the clip. I'll play the clip. We're like, what's the year with Michael Biehn? Where's the year? What?
Right.
Love the first Terminator.
I remember seeing it in theaters.
It's 10 years. So it's 95, roughly.
Yeah.
So she's had 10 years of weapons training. Carol's had like on the fly weapons training. And don't get me wrong, she's badass. Zombies will make you learn to adapt.
Yeah.
Because that's a society where you adapt or die. So
Pretty much.
So
Interesting thought.
But if there's a team up, they've totally taken over a zombie planet.
It'll be good.
So what do you think about the pantsuit wearing windmill handing out people?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
All right, so Walking Dead, there's a group of people who are like, "Hey, we just want food."
Oh, them. Oh, yes.
Yeah,
I remember them.
She's like in a very well done pantsuit that's like been washed. I'm like, where'd you find that? Because
yeah, they look very like they came out of some business office.
no, well, it's still kind of Goodwillish, but
but
it's clean. It was really clean.
And it's
She's like, "Hi, we're a bunch of Hillary Clintons here, and here's a book of." Stuff, and we just want food.
That's it. Give us some knowledge. And then at the end, they didn't even take food. They gave them food because they saw they need food. And
like,
they said, hey, you build this, and next time we come back, just give us some of your food.
So, are they evil?
I don't know.
Of course they're evil. Cause that's my problem with The Walking Dead. There are no good people.
See, and this is my problem with it. I just don't care anymore. I just don't
even the people that we were supposed to root for are all just kind of evil.
Yeah, well, that was my whole thing. So I guess that was my whole thing this past season is I found myself rooting for Negan.
Oh, Negan was cool.
Because he's cool. And that's why. And when you look at it, Rick started this whole thing with Negan when Rick went in and killed a bunch of Negan's people for no reason other than he told the Hilltop people that he would do it.
Right.
I mean, he had no beef with Negan whatsoever. So that's evil.
And on the flip side,
I'm just saying.
But on the flip side, the Saviors are not holier than thou anyway.
No, they're not.
And so I don't know if they're even less evil, but they're also evil. And then, and in turn, everyone who works for them, the Hilltop, the Kingdom, are actually working for evil. So in grand scheme, the only good people are the zombies who are just all we want is food.
Yeah, we just want to eat.
Just want to eat, and unfortunately, it's you. But we're not picky,
right?
So,
I mean, I think that there are people out there that are trying to be good. There are people like I think Ezekiel, has tried to be moral and good,
right?
I think there are people that try to go make the right choices and go down the right path, but it certainly is not Rick. Rick is not a good person. He's not. Rick
is doing what he has to do, and it's kind of done to on a far end scale. Rick has been that guy who's been pushed way too many times to the point where he's like, I mean, I get it. You can't trust anyone. He really can't.
Right.
And now I like the shift though that in his moral compass in the end of the season, because realistically his moral compass, which was broken the whole time, was Carl, and he had to be reminded by Morgan about why is Morgan now such a badass when he had his kid, when it's like, I didn't want to do this in front of my kid. And then Rick has to realize how much death and destruction and danger he's putting Carl in. Well, now Carl's gone,
right? And
he understands that Judith is not his kid. And so he's attached, but I don't know how attached he is.
Right.
So, I mean, I think it's more like, this is new life, and we'll just raise, I don't know how that's going to be. And now there's this new baby, so Judith's got a playmate.
That's right.
It's like, they're just a random baby.
Well, pretty soon Maggie will have a baby,
yeah,
so it'll be another baby.
Be another baby. And society moves on.
There you go.
I'm curious about just things. Like, I've always wanted, and I've talked about this before, but it's been a while. I want to do one of these zombie shows or a comic or something, but I want to do it from the government perspective. So, like part West Wing, part Walking Dead. How does society collapse from the high end? I mean, Trump's in office and zombies are attacking. What happens?
That's a good question because, I mean, surely
we've got the best zombies. They're huge.
In theory, not in theory, there are bunkers out there.
Yeah, of course there is.
So do all the bigwigs just go into the bunkers and wait?
See, that's what I'm wondering.
Yeah. Where everybody else kind of kills each other.
I assume that there's a president of the United States or whatever still in a bunker somewhere, because that would be protocol. our friend Josh, who's the Prize Pixie's husband, he's got a degree in public health. And so when we and we both have a love of zombie films and things, and we've discussed before. I need to get him on the show just to talk about this kind of stuff. We may do a special episode about this.
I love zombies, so yeah.
Maybe before the start of Walking Dead next season we might do. But he said there are protocols for situations like this, not specifically zombies because they're fictional, but he would assume that if there was an epidemic super flu or some sort of catastrophic situation like that, the similar protocols would go into place. So, X amount of people would be inoculated if could be, or X amount of people would be stored in safe places. But the government would try to do its best to continue to run. The problem in The Walking Dead, we haven't seen anything like that.
Right.
We haven't seen a government.
And I wonder if that's because of the location that they're filming this.
Probably is.
Because if you remember, so many seasons ago, Eugene was trying to make it to D.C.
Right, but we found out that's not true.
Right, but that was, but I wonder what's going on in D.C.,
well,
if anything.
And the CDC guy in the first season went down to, it was just him in the CDC building.
How did that? Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of questions about how the what ifs, and plus I'm fascinated by that side. But I'm all and listeners know this. I'm fascinated by all the weird stuff like in the Hunger Games. How's the rest of the world? How is the rest of the planet? And because I don't know, I haven't read the Hunger Games. I've seen them, but
but you're wondering why are they allowing this to happen? Well, just stay out of it, I guess.
Right. Well, it's like America's doing their thing.
Well, it's kind of like in the Handmaid's Tale,
right,
or whatever. So the book is really just the first season, and now it's into the second season. I've been watching it, and they address that. I mean, they go to Canada and try to have some sort of conference with the Canadians about what's the other outside countries don't know how bad it is in there, no. And they're just now learning. They're just now.
There's not a sequel to the. I read the book back in high school a long time ago.
There's no sequel, but it's kind of interesting how they're addressing that because what they're putting out to the other countries is that everything's fine here. It's a kind of a utopian society. People all the handmaidens, they're all volunteers, and we take good care of them, and blah blah blah, and all this kind of bullshit. And but now they're showing it where things are being leaked out to the other countries. And
I want to watch The Handmaid's Tale. I watched the first episode and was vastly uncomfortable by it.
You're going to be uncomfortable.
And I was like, I just don't want. I don't want to feel this bad.
It's awesome. It's a great. It's a great, well done series.
So speaking about being uncomfortable in series, I like them true crime documentaries on Netflix. Like Making a Murderers. I watched it a couple of years ago. It made me angry, but I watched it. I really, really like Evil Genius. I've seen it twice. I may watch it again because it's crazy. If you've not seen it,
I haven't seen any of it. I don't watch that kind of stuff usually.
This is, I don't know, we've talked about this a little bit, but this is mainly for the listeners' benefit, and you can comment if you'd like. And if I'm not talking to you about this, I'll bring it up again. Anyway, Evil Genius is about, there's a situation about 10 years ago, 12 years ago, whatever, about a guy who was delivering pizzas, robs a bank with a bomb around his neck. And he has to rob this bank, and then after he robs the bank, he's cornered by police, and he's like, hey, these people put this bomb on my neck, told me to rob them, and there's these clues I got to go find. Can you go start finding the clues to find the key to get this thing off my neck? And so the police are all around him, and they got guns drawn on him, and he's like, look, I'm not doing anything. I'm not going to go anywhere, but I'm, the police have to do what they got to do. They protect people. Don't get me wrong. I don't blame the police for what they don't know the situation.
Right.
But this poor guy is just, and then it blows up and kills him. And that's like the first 15 minutes of the documentary. It's 3 hours long. It's in 3 parts. And then shit gets crazy.
Oh, wow.
Like, that's crazy. And then it gets even more crazy.
See, now that sounds interesting to me.
If you've not seen it, seriously, give it a watch. There's a body in a freezer that's connected, and there's these other people that are connected, and then it ends even weirder, and you're just like, huh? And the whole time you're questioning, is that guy involved or not? And all these other people that are involved, you're like, how are they? and it just crazy.
Oh wow!
But highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. It's a good way to kill a couple of hours,
Nice.
And it's like, you and Jamie probably get a kick out of it to
Yeah.
watch it because you're just like, these people are crazy. Well, again, I like these kind of things. So last night I started watching The Staircase, and The Staircase is about this writer in North Carolina and his wife, she's a marketing manager or something. What I'm saying, they're wealthy. They're wealthy folk, and they have this loving marriage, and she. They have dinner one night, and he's standing by the pool, and she goes and she leaves, and then he finds her at the bottom of the staircase, all in blood. She had fallen from the staircase, and and dies. Police come, and they're like, that dude totally killed her and threw her down the staircase. And so there's this whole documentary about you trying to figure out if he's being convicted. And so it's this happened in 2001. And so they had the BBC did this documentary, and so they followed him from 2001, interviewed him until, of course, so I'm watching this, and first episode was interesting. And the second interesting episode, I felt like The Walking Dead. I don't care about these people.
Right.
I don't like this guy. I don't care if he's guilty or innocent. I don't like him. He's not someone I can root for or root against. I didn't care. So I stopped watching it, and Wikipedia did this morning.
Oh God!
So I know the answer. Spoilers if you don't want to know. Turn off now. So he is convicted of this thing. And his family half turns away from him. Half of it. I mean, there's that turmoil. You find out that he's bisexual, and the theory is that his wife discovered that he was having sex with a man, and in a blind fit of rage to try to cover it up, he killed her.
Right.
He's convicted of premeditated murder because the jury says, well, premeditated doesn't mean hours or days; it could mean seconds, which I don't believe at all. If he kills her, that's a crime of passion. If he did it. He appeals, loses the appeal, and there's another appeal that he gets out on because of some other stuff. And then there's this weird, crazy theory that I got to go. Hopefully, that I don't think it's in the episodes, but so they found microscopic owl feathers on her.
What?
And they found cedar chunks in her hands. And so there's a theory that she was attacked by an owl, which is crazy. But then they had experts come out, like independent guys, like they're not even with the defense or something, going, they looked at her wounds and stuff on the autopsy, and veterinarians goes, oh, that's totally an owl attack.
Oh my God! So all this stuff.
So all this weird stuff happens. It's like an owl may have killed this lady.
Oh my God!
Who? What? No, that's in the. So don't watch The Staircase. At Wikipedia, you'll learn about the owl thing. When they make the owl version of the documentary, I will totally watch that. But right now, I don't care about the guy.
Oh God. That's almost disappointing.
Right, but you're just kind of like, I want to see an owl murderer.
Right? Oh.
Right.
No, it just, so I don't even know if I want to admit this. I like to, I read a lot anyway, but I read a lot of, about these heinous murders and stuff because I like to look at the pictures, like crime scene pictures.
Right.
Because I think it's interesting. But so today I was going through at all these horrible things that pet chimpanzees have done. People who have owned pet chimpanzees.
Never own a chimp. They are terrible.
Oh my God! And like people would like this. For instance, this one couple had this pet chimpanzee for like years. This was like their child, and when he got into his the chimpanzee got into his 30s, which apparently this is when chimpanzees become violent. I don't know. I was angry when I turned 30 as well, so I can kind of get it. but like just completely attacked these people and ripped off the guy's like half of his face and his genitals and all this other kind of...
Yeah, killed one of them, right? And then the other one lost her face and eyes and her hands. And
I mean, this is just like, but there's several. And then going through and all these several... So I totally believe that animals do kill people.
Oh, yeah, they totally do.
Yeah, so it could have been an owl. Easily could have been an owl.
I'm with the owl theory.
I think so. I mean, never own a chimpanzee.
Never. Yeah, that's a Mopcast warning and guaranteed. Do not. They will queue up when you're 30. Their 30s, they're like,
Yeah.
we're out. You think Project X was cute? Nope.
Nope.
The murder reminds me. Did you ever watch The Practice?
No, I really, I don't watch like a lot of dramas.
This was on years ago.
Yeah,
and
I really just don't.
I only know this because back when
I'm
we
a
were
sci-fi fantasy girl. When it
So I
comes
just
to
remember this when we were poor. This was much like I've seen all of ER because we were
I remember watching ER.
because we were poor and it was on
Regular TV.
on Sunday
right.
Sunday nights, and then so me and the exes that was our thing. Sunday night we were like, we're gonna snuggle up and watch ER, and just got hooked on it.
Yeah.
We happened to catch the first episode not knowing that, and been like, we went through the year or two of it and then finished it all up. So we were ER fans. The same thing kind of with The Practice. And it's the same kind of, but it's like ER, but
Right.
courtroom drama and stuff.
Right,
But it's got everything else in it. But it's not a bad show. But the what I'm trying to get to, there's a case where a guy is being tried for killing his wife. She had fallen and hit her head, and so it could have been an accident.
Right.
Except when the police were investigating and doing a search warrant, they found his attic, and his attic had all these plans about how he could kill his wife. And there was all this like there was a model and like.
Wow.
You're at like this, he had she hit her head on a table, but he had like a version of the table leg made of the same wood, so you could have the same kind of.
He really just went all out.
Right. So he gets off. He's not guilty. And the reason why he's not guilty is he says, "Oh, I'm sorry. That was my hobby. I never want to kill my wife at all, but my hobby was pretending to kill, plotting to kill my wife." And it was like very therapeutic for me, and she knew about it, and blah blah blah. And it was this thing. It was just my hobby about how I would planning to kill my wife.
And he got off on that.
Yeah, he got. I believe he's not convicted on that one. I think
Good to know. If I kill somebody, I can just pretend it was my hobby. To
right.
think about
Make
it.
sure you have some stuff laid out that you could be
Nice.
So I just reminded me of that. I was expecting him to have a room
That's
full of
crazy.
staircases of things he could push down.
Guess what I've been watching this
What have
week?
you been watching?
World Cup. For the listeners who could not see, Scotty's eyes just rolled. Like, oh my
Did
God.
they roll? Did they roll like soccer balls?
They rolled. They totally rolled. Like, oh God.
All right, so I tell you what I know about soccer
I know.
this week.
This week. Tell me what you know about this week.
The United States is not in it.
No, they're not.
And a couple of the teams that have won, the fans have stayed behind and cleaned up the stadium.
Okay, yeah.
Senegal, I believe, did that, and Japan did that.
Yes.
They stayed. We're like, we're going to clean up the stadium because we won. And you know what? Good for them.
That is good. It's an interesting thing to, I guess, pick up on as far as from a non-fan.
That should be a thing. Y'all, if your team wins, you clean up the stadium.
You should clean up your mess anyway, period. But yeah, this is what we've been doing all week, and it's been really exciting. And I'm sure that we have like one or two listeners who must like soccer, because I can't be the only one.
No, you have there's a whole team down here.
So this is what I find interesting about this year's World Cup. The dynamic is so different. In the past, during the World Cup, a bunch of us would get together and we'd support the U.S. and everybody would be behind one team. And all of my soccer friends are all supporting different teams now because the U.S. is not in it.
Right.
And it's making it kind of weird.
So who are you supporting?
Germany, of
Actually,
course.
why did I ask?
Why did you ask?
Jamie too?
Yeah, actually, he was going to pull for Iceland because they're the big underdog. But I pulled the wife card. And
Iceland has a soccer. They have grass?
Yeah.
Well, I guess it is. Greenland doesn't have grass.
Right. So I pulled the wife card and said, hey, the U.S. isn't in it this time. So, for once, try to get behind my team. So we're both supporting Germany, who lost their first game to Mexico.
How many do you have to lose?
They have to win this next one, which is on Saturday.
So it's a double elimination?
Yeah, well, they play. What it is they have a group that they play in. There's 4 teams in a group, and the top 2 teams in their group move on to the next group.
Gotcha.
So right now it's the first set of groups. So they are playing Sweden, and they have to beat Sweden in order to win, which I think they will. So I don't see any problems. But anyway, it's just really been interesting.
The Swedish have been kicking those meatballs around.
I know.
So,
for years.
So, I mean, that gives them an edge. Yeah. I mean, bratwurst doesn't really roll. I I mean, it does, but not really like a soccer ball.
Whatever. The Germans are so.
This is all I know about Germany and Sweden.
You still owe me a game. You said you would come to one of the local games. You said it on air.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know if I'll keep that. I have it all. I'll tell you why. It's not your fault. It's not their fault. But I'm making a stand. I am angry at the NFL for preventing their players from kneeling. I think it's stupid, and to the point that I'm boycotting all sports. Like, I'm not watching any sports next season. I'm out. I'm done until somebody fixes this, one way or the other. Someone needs to fix it. Either people stop killing people. That ain't gonna happen. But at least looking at that as a problem, and it bothered me to a level that I was like, if no one cared. And of course, not being political, no one cares about a lot of things going on right now.
Right.
And I'm not going to get into all that, but this is me, and I'm the weakest, smallest person. I don't have much gumption, but I have gumption about this. And so I'm just like, so when that happened, I guess in April, I was like, I'm done. I'm not just done with football. I'm done with all sports. And so unfortunately, that happened the same time with the soccer thing. So I got principles right now.
I understand, kind of. I don't watch NFL, and I really don't care about who stands and who kneels. It doesn't. I mean, it has nothing. I mean,
right, and that's how people should feel about it.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is it has it. Thank goodness, there's not been any drama.
Right.
In the soccer world.
However,
all that.
I'm glad you love soccer, and I think it's great. And the soccer players I've met through you who play locally, they're wonderful, nice people, and the soccer fans are nice. They're friends of mine too, and. But until this is kind of addressed,
it's a shame because it's so much fun. We have such a good time.
Every time I'm with you, I have a good time.
Well, I know.
So you're just good people. You're just good people.
Oh.
I tried out for Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Yeah, you did.
I still have not heard back. I had a friend who's heard back though. That's cool. Georgia, who works with Pensacon. She's a graphic designer for Pensacon.
Okay.
And she's the one who was making sure all the panels were done on time. Georgia, get on you. They called Georgia, so hopefully Georgia will be on the show.
That's nice.
Georgia, but they'll be calling all week, so I'm waiting to hope to get my call.
That'd be nice.
I went. I went at 5:30 in the morning. There was 44 people in front of me. By the time they started taking people at 7, there was probably 300 people behind me. They took us in waves at 150 people at a time, and they gave us a 30-question test that they were like, it's the hardest test we've ever given. The lady the talent agent was like, I took it last night, and I'm good at this kind of stuff, and I struggled, and I'm not going to tell you what I made, but it's tough, so just letting you know, we may be grading this one on the curve if we find out it's too tough. Well, I took it, and not to brag, there was 30 questions, and 25 of them I knew.
Oh, wow.
5 I guessed on. Or at least 25 I knew. They still haven't called me. So
you think you knew 25 of them.
I was confident on 25. I don't know if I was right, but, so hopefully they'll call me and then I got to figure out. So the way it works is that you have to fly to Vegas. They don't fly you. You have to fly yourself.
Okay.
And a guest. Because they used to do phone a friend kind of thing.
Yeah.
They don't do that anymore. They have someone in a hot seat.
Oh, cool.
So I gotta bring someone who knows trivia, who knows the stuff that I don't know.
Oh.
And so I'm trying to figure out.
I was about to say I want to be your guest, but I don't know if
right,
I know
right. You're trivia by your own admission is not really your strong suit.
Actually, I'm really good at trivia.
Are you? Oh, you said you weren't.
No, I didn't.
Maybe it was Star Wars trivia that you had trouble.
It was Star Wars trivia.
Maybe that was
I'm
it.
really good at trivia.
Well, I'll take you with me. How about that?
I was like...
I'm
not good at sports trivia.
I'm not good at sports trivia either.
So you might want somebody.
Well, we may just agree. We may just agree when it gets to sports, we just go home.
There you go. Yeah, I'm pretty decent at trivia.
All right, well, I might take you with me. How about
That's why. Remember, I asked you to let's get a trivia team together and start playing down here.
I can't remember. I can't remember, but yeah, that'd be fun. I like trivia.
I know.
But so we'll see if they go. But I ate at Red Robin for the first time.
Was it good?
It was okay.
I know.
You ever eaten Red Robin?
Yeah. They had them in Colorado when I lived in Colorado, and it's a burger.
It's a burger.
Yeah.
It's a burger.
They make it sound so special.
Yeah, Red Robin, yum. And I was like, and they had bottomless fries, and I'm like, I'm not going to finish these fries.
No. That's dumb.
The waitress was nice. I went to a beef jerky store
Okay.
and bought beef jerky. I've never been to a beef jerky. It's just nothing but beef jerky.
So I'm a sugaraholic.
Yeah.
We've had this discussion. Went to a soccer game last night in Gulfport, and they had these gourmet popsicle people there.
Ooh.
I can't remember their name. I'd have to look it up. But anyway, I guess they're local, and they make all these interesting flavored gourmet popsicles out of fresh ingredients and blah, 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 blah. I had 3 of them.
What'd you have?
I had a blackberry lemonade that was made, of course, from fresh blackberries. And then I had Madagascar vanilla.
Oh, that sounds sexy.
And then Oreo cheesecake.
Also sounds sexy. Yeah, you got to find those people. We need to go back, hunt them down. I don't worry.
They were delicious.
Need to do that one.
Delicious. I'm addicted to Bang energy drinks now. I mean,
from the last podcast.
Well, yeah. So thanks to MobiCon, I am literally
I think they sell them here.
Oh, I'll have to check on my way out. I am buying a case a week.
That can't be good for you.
Well.
Exactly.
I'm still here.
So, multiple flavors, or you still do
multiple flavors?
Not just cotton candy.
No, I've expanded out a little bit.
What else do you like?
So they have. Oh gosh. They have a blue raspberry that's really good. They have a root beer that tastes just like root beer.
That's cool.
I don't know. I like them all. I mean, all the ones I've tried. The mango peach is really good. The only ones I don't like are the citrus flavored ones, but I'm not a big citrus person. So.
Gotcha. I gotcha.
Well, pretty decent.
All right.
I'll drink all of them. I don't care. The punch is good.
I haven't had anything new that I've eaten or drinking that I'm oh my God, this is great. I haven't expanded my horizons. I'm going to Birmingham this weekend, so for Saturday, at least Saturday. So maybe I'll go find somewhere neat to try.
There's a place we need to make a road trip.
Oh, yeah, where to?
I saw online. I think it's in Huntsville.
Yeah,
the high school.
Yeah, high school. It's something 805. So I immediately saw that on Facebook too.
And I'm a road trip.
Yeah, describe this to the audience.
Okay, so it's an old high school that is closed, and it has been converted into, the best way I can describe it is an adult activity center. But they still kept the high school theme kind of going on. So they have an area where you can play games. They have a tap. They have a brewery that is set up in the old gym, and they've got a speakeasy that is hidden behind lockers. They've got restaurants. It's just a whole place where adults can go and basically play and eat and drink, and it still looks like a high school.
Campus 805.
Yeah. It looks amazing. It's just like this big complex of stuff.
Well, I asked John Walker, the talented artist behind Chronicles of Limbo, and our friend about it. He says it's cool. And so, him and his lovely wife live up there, so we have a place to stay if we want to go check it out.
I totally want to go check it out.
So, come on, we'll go up there. I'm going up there actually I'm going in August, I know. Because we're going to go to Nashville. Me, Kristen, and John are going to go see The Dollop live in Nashville.
The what?
The Dollop. It's my one of my favorite podcasts that are not on my network.
Okay.
It's an American history podcast with 2 comedians.
Uh-huh.
It's hilarious and fun. And so
cool.
I'm going to go check it out live.
Very cool.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to them. It's in mid-August, I think. So it'll be after I come back from Seattle.
That sounds like fun.
August is busy for me. So... Yay.
Got a lot going on, too. I need to start writing it down.
I'm working on a card game, and that's been interesting.
Yeah. It's been really neat.
Yeah, I've been sharing images, and I may share a couple pictures in the either on Twitter or on the website. I hadn't decided when we get closer to design. So by the time I release this, we're close on design. But I'm doing a Chronicles of Limbo card game because I love card games. and I have a buddy of mine in Florida, Ray, he's been doing some other custom Star Wars cards for me. He's a disgruntled teacher who wants to be a graphic artist, who has a passion for graphic design, and so we started talking, and he was like, "Yeah, I'll design." So we've been back and forth on designing these cards, and so I've been designing cards without really thinking about rules
Oh God.
of how this game is going to play. So now I'm starting to think about rules,
Right.
and that's crazy. Trying to figure out how to play a game that doesn't exist.
Yeah. I don't want to do that.
It's like it's hard. But we're hoping to have playtesting, in September through December, and maybe 6 months later have a Kickstarter, so you can all support us and get your own version of the game.
That'd be cool.
It's gonna be fun. So that's the big thing I'm working on. I like it because it's creative,
Yeah.
and I'm getting to think about characters and things that I've created in a different way, and how I want them to interact in a whole other way, and it's harder than you would think.
It is. I'm ready. I need a creative outlet again. I need to do another show. I haven't done one in over a year.
We haven't announced this on the podcast either. Miss Vice President.
Oh yeah.
Stephanie's the Vice President of Joe Jefferson Playhouse.
Yeah, I am. Which is great.
It's a great thing, yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready to kind of just jump in and get to work with that. But I also want to be in a show. It's been a while.
Right.
So
I'm looking at the slate. I don't think there's anything in this season I want to do.
there's 2 shows that I'm auditioning for.
What are you auditioning for?
Othello and Young Frankenstein.
I might do Young Frankenstein.
It'll be great.
The only Shakespeare I want to do is Hamlet. And Julius Caesar. I do Julius Caesar.
I love Othello.
I like Othello too. I was about to say I saw it recently, but no, I didn't see it recently. I saw it like 5 years ago.
Oh yeah.
But in my brain, that's way recently, and I saw it in
Is
West
it
Virginia.
the 1995, 98 version with Lawrence Fishburne?
No, I talk about like on stage.
Oh, on stage.
Yeah, I saw a kind of they did it in West Virginia, and it was kind of a 1940s take. So the war was World War II.
Oh, okay.
And so they did it very World War II-ish.
Huh.
That's an interesting look at it.
That's interesting.
Mhm.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I want to direct Julius Caesar, but I want to do it as a mob story.
Oh, that's cute.
You do it like a 1920s
Yeah.
mob tale instead of
Yeah.
it's Rome and all that, but it's they're all mafiosos.
Yeah, that'd be
The
great.
mafioso council, your mob boss is killed, and there's a war and ghosts.
That would be
It'd
really
fun.
cool.
That'd be really, really fun.
I would be in that.
Yeah, of course you would. I'd catch you in anything. If I'm doing a show, you're definitely in it.
Awesome.
And they're like, director shouldn't do that. I'm like, come on.
Directors do it all the time.
Yeah, name a director that hasn't. I'm like, I'm not casting anyone I know. Yeah, that's.
I don't think it's wrong for directors to do that. I think the only difference is when they do that, and some have actually done this. Some has followed this protocol. Is if you have precast, announce it.
Right. That's what
Just
I typically
announce
do.
it when say this part has been cast already.
Or
we're having auditions. These parts have been cast already.
I'll tell you what I typically do. Sometimes I don't know who I'm casting in what, so I do everyone do the auditions, but I know who people,
Yeah.
I like to do a mix in community theater. I like to work with some people that are my anchors, people I know I can work with and will do a good job
Right.
and be good leaders. You're one of those people. Mm-hmm. I like to get some people who have a little bit of experience who, this is their second or third show. And then I like to get 1 or 2 newbies who are like, I don't know what I'm doing. And like together you mix that together and you have something wonderful.
Right.
You get someone who gets to enjoy the magic, someone who's really liking the magic, and someone who's been there and is like, it's now for me to do something challenging and different.
Right.
And so instead of just like, I'm here on stage, I want to make it a different kind of experience.
Yeah.
So for any theaters out there, I'm a good director.
Yeah, you are.
But
Now's the time to start submitting for the next season.
oh yeah, just tell me who and where, what. I will put a presentation in and be like, this is what I want to do.
Go ahead and start wrying up some stuff.
I've got stuff written up. I just don't know who to.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll talk about that later.
Tell me later. I
Yeah.
definitely will do that. Tell me what else is going on. That's exciting. July is free. I'm not doing any traveling unless it's local. August is big because Seattle, and then Nashville, and then September we have Shaka Khan. We're going to be that. They've announced guests at Shaka Khan. I was worried. Mike, you were worrying me. Mike doesn't listen to the show, but Mike, I was worried, buddy. I was like, I didn't see no guest list or what. I'm like, there's not going to be anybody here. I hope they have the show, and I like Shaka Khan. So,
Right.
So we'll be there. I got to get with Mike to make sure we can do the game show.
That'd be good.
I'd like to do a Bros, Booze, and Movies too. See how much panel space he's got. Do it on stage would be fun.
That'd be cool.
I don't know what else we got going on. There's a Steampunk Festival, best way to call it.
When is that?
It's in October.
October,
Doing
that's
that in
right.
October. And then there's another show. There's the Gulf Coast one that's in Biloxi.
Right.
That Pensacon's one that we'll be involved in. And then there's a toy show in October. And then I think I'm sleeping until April. Oh, sleeping until February because Pensacon.
Yeah,
And then sleeping
Pensacon, yeah.
because April, because we got our tickets to Celebration.
Woo! I am so excited about that.
I am excited too.
In Chicago, too.
Chicago's going to be fun. So
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
there's going to be a lot going on.
I love Chicago.
I've never been.
Oh, my God. There's so much to do during the day and at night. I mean, there's just so much to do. So it's like, I hope that we have time to do some stuff in Chicago.
We're going to plan it.
Like,
I'm doing this one different than I did Orlando because Orlando just mainly autographed hunted, and I'm at a point now where I've got a lot of what I actually was counting my autographs the other day.
400?
No, that's not that obscene, but it's obscene for me just thinking about the money I've spent in the last 2 years.
Oh my God! How many thousands of dollars have you spent?
I don't know. I won't even think about that part. However, so I was moving my autographs to another storage container, so I had a chance to count them. I'm at 72.
Oh wow!
Just cards. That's not counting everything else I've got. Just cards. 72 cards.
With autographs.
With autographs. And I've got more on the way that I've sent off and paid for.
Nice.
And that they're supposed to be coming. And then I did a couple of them as hopefully to get them as freebie fan mails.
That's cool.
So I wrote fan letters to a couple actors and voice actors and said I slipped a card in with a self-addressed stamped envelope and said, hey, love your work, blah, 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 blah. Hey, by the way, I play this game. Be cool if you signed it. No big deal if you don't, but just,
Yeah.
I still love you, whatever. Love Scotty, your fan. And so I sent a couple of those off, and so we'll see what we come back with.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Other people have had luck with it, so I'm like,
I'm sure there'll be some new ones you'll want, with the Han Solo movie.
Yeah, Solo's got.
So you're gonna have some new people
I
there.
want Donald Glover.
I know.
Actually, Donald Glover and Phyllis. I can't think of her last name, but she played L7. She was great. I'll take them all.
I want.
Amelia Clark.
Yes.
The mother of Falcons.
I want hers.
Well, she might be there. You never know.
It'll be awesome.
Apparently, when I'm here by the end of the summer, they'll start announcing guests.
Then I'll have her and Jason Momoa's, and it'll be like your whole.
Yeah, it's like what could have been.
What could have been?
What could have been?
Did you see that picture of Jason Momoa that's gone viral?
With the guy who didn't want to his wife take his picture.
That cracks me up on so many levels because I've met him and he's such a super nice guy. And Jamie, when I was there, Jamie was with me.
Right.
I mean, like he was with me in the photograph line and all that. And so when I got up to get my picture, I also announced it's like I wanted by myself with Jason Momoa, and of course Jamie's fine with that.
Right.
But I can just imagine had Jamie not wanted me to have a picture by myself, he would probably do the same thing. He's just that funny.
Yeah, but I don't think he would. I mean, if he didn't want you to have the picture, he would have got you the gift.
Well, but you know what I mean,
right?
It was so cute.
That was funny. I think his handing this. It's a great little picture, and if you've not seen it, I'll post it in the show notes. But have you read the comments though?
No.
Oh yeah, go back and look in the comments. The comments are terrible because of the internet.
People got to be ugly.
Oh yeah, people got to be ugly. There's a hate movement in Star Wars. There's
a hate movement in Star Wars.
Oh yeah. The actress who played Rose, they harassed her off Instagram.
Oh, bless her heart.
Yeah, and now there's a group that's like they want to remake The Last Jedi, and they're raising money to try to do that. I'm like, that's not how movies work. And but it's the same, racist douchebags are like, we just want white people. Like, white people in the movies have always been white people. We want them white people to be in the movies.
That's terrible.
It is terrible. It's a little...
No,
Oh, white man. They don't want women.
Yeah.
No, white dudes.
I think the person who played Rose is a charming person. We saw her at the last celebration.
Yep.
And I mean...
Oh, I'll say it straight up. I don't like The Last Jedi. And
I don't either. But I thought her character was kind of useless.
But
that's not her fault. That's the writers.
That's the writers. They didn't give her nothing to play with.
It had nothing to do with her. That's not her. People, don't mess with her. It's not her fault.
Seriously, going to mess with
It
anybody?
was bad writing.
Mess with Rian Johnson.
Right.
That's who you're going to mess with. If you have to mess with somebody.
Her, for that matter, Finn was pretty much useless too in The Last Jedi.
Most people were.
It was bad writing. Just really bad writing.
So there's that going on.
But Solo was great.
Solo was amazing. And then there was a rumor that Solo was going to be the last Star Wars film, like solo Star Wars film, standalone Star Wars film, because Solo didn't do what is expected. Well, okay, here's the problem with Solo not doing a lot of money. It did a lot of money. It just didn't do, it's like, it didn't do what normal Star Wars movies do. And they're like, well, that's a failure. Well, that's what you think. Here's the thing. Last Jedi came out in December. This movie comes out in May, so it's too close to us for a Star Wars movie. You didn't have enough time to wait. Plus, you were against Avengers, Deadpool.
Oh, yeah. Everything else.
Everything else. Incredibles, Jurassic Park, all this stuff now. So, yeah.
The timing was bad.
The bad timing. I know what they were trying to do. It's still a great film. It is
great.
It is
I was hoping for an Obi-Wan Kenobi movie, so...
I've already said that. I don't want an Obi-Wan Kenobi movie.
Oh, I do.
I'm just going to watch Luke and be creepy. That's what it's like. He's with binoculars. What?
I was just hoping for some Ewan McGregor action.
I got you.
He's kind of pretty.
With his little binoculars looking as Luke grows up for 18 years. Yeah, I don't want to see that. I just want to see more Darth Maul. Spoiler.
Oh my God, yes.
I squealed like a girl.
Oh my God.
I was like,
I was so excited.
I was so happy to see Darth Maul. Because when I first,
too.
and it not just, it's Ray Park, who's Darth Maul.
Right.
But it's also Sam Witwer, who's my Darth Maul. So it's the voice of my Darth Maul and the body of Darth Maul. And it's like a Darth Maul Reese's cup.
It's amazing. And I got so excited because, of course I met him in February. And I didn't meet him at a con. I met him in a bar.
Right.
And it was great. It was so great,
Minus the
and then
barbers
when we went to his panel, he remembered me specifically.
Right.
And what we talked about, which made it amazing.
You'll see him again in October.
I know.
Your new friend, Ray Park.
I can't wait. And I'm going to be like, dude.
So there in the autograph world, there's some controversy with Ray Park. Ray Park used to have this signature that was really elaborate, Ray Park, and he's not doing it anymore. He's doing this really fast signature, and I'm new to signatures. I don't care if I've met you and you've signed something, yay! Right. I'm not the guy. There's some people who are like picky about, well, this loop doesn't look quite right, and I don't know. I'm disappointed that it was like, look, if you ever get Sarah Michelle Gellar's autograph, from what I understand, she just does SMG.
Okay.
That's it. That's what you're going to get.
It's fine.
I'm like, sweet. That's my SMG. I'll take it. And but Ray has changed his autograph, and he explained to the guy who was complaining about it. He's like, can you sign it in your old way? He goes, well, it's been copied so many times, no one's gonna believe it's mine. So he does this new one that he says is harder to imitate. Which may or may not be true, whatever. But he said, nah, that's okay. If you're not going to do it. And Ray was like, that's okay. I don't have to sign anything. So just give him his money back. And I'm like, good for you, Ray Park.
Right.
I hate when fans think they own people.
That's crazy. No, you should be happy with what you get.
Yeah, you should.
And every once in a while, you get something special. Like when I got Jason Momoa's autograph, he wrote my name in this, took time and wrote my name in the special weird lettering that he has on his arm, like tattoo on his arm, a strange lettering. And he didn't have to do that.
No,
that took time. That took a minute, for him to do that.
Don't have to do that at all.
And I have a long name, so
it's good for him to have that connection.
That's of course, there are people that you pay for autographs, and you are terribly disappointed
because you get what you pay for. You got an autograph, and so I try not to get disappointed. But we've had the same. Michael Dorn, I'm calling you out, buddy.
Yeah, you're an ass. I'm sorry.
I'm paying for a brief experience.
Right.
Just give me eye contact.
Well, that's the thing.
Act like you want to be there.
It's like you know, just at least smile. You know, don't
because you're making your money doing this instead of being on set where you should be. Oh, that's terrible. I'm sorry, Michael Dorn. I apologize.
Well, I guess it's just because the same actors, his level. And when I say his level, I'm talking about a lot of the, Star Trek actors who are not currently really working a lot.
Right.
A lot of the others have been completely delightful. Like Robert Picardo, who tried to take me home with him, basically.
And I'm like, but she's going home with me. Sort of.
and then, Terry Farrell, who is like delightful.
I can't wait to meet her again. I'm really looking forward to meeting her.
So, anyway, don't be a douchebag.
Yeah, don't be a douchebag. That's a good way to end this podcast. You can follow me on Twitter at Scotty White, and you can follow the network at Mopcast Network or Facebook.com/Mike. There's a lady at the end of this who will tell you how to find the advertise. So listen to the lady and do what she says.
That sounds good. Just listen to the lady.
The lady over there. This is me saying, this is our contribution to the multiverse. Go out and make yours!
Bye!
Thanks for listening. You can follow us on Twitter at Mopcast Network, on Facebook.com/Mopcast Network, or just visit us at Mopcast.com. And remember, this is our contribution to the multiverse. Go out and make yours.
Thank you for listening to the Mopcast Network.